Hello guys, today we're on DK Mountain, and the reason I chose this race specifically is because I took the stuff that I learned from my last analysis and applied it to this race. Now first things first, talk about the course layout, things we have to look out for. So there are three things we have to look out for. First thing is that we have a cannon section. As you can see, we have an entrance here and an exit here. The reason this is important is because players with the shock tend to use them, where the majority of players are either before the cannon or after the cannon. This is because players with the shock want to prevent as many players as dodging as possible. So if you have any type of dodge items, you want to use them in these locations. Second thing we have to look out for is that after the cannon, we enter a very bumpy section, which makes it very difficult to maintain speed as well as gain mini turbos. So if you have any type of mushroom or any type of boost, you want to use it in this location. The last thing we have to look out for is that one of the bends before the end of the lap, there's a cut that you can take by taking a tight line like this. Now I'll explain it later when we get to that section, but otherwise let us start the race. Again, I'm getting a lag start, which is unfortunate, but it doesn't matter because it's lap 1. Alright, the turn coming up is a long left turn that's somewhat blind. So I have to go wide to avoid any type of back spam such as bananas, red shells, green shells, and fibs. Alright, avoid the banana easily, but now we have another problem. The daisy in front of us has triple greens. You might end up back spamming these before the cannon, so I have to go wide to make sure I don't get hit. Okay, she doesn't back spam them, so now I have to worry about the next turn coming up. She might decide to back spam it on this turn. What's interesting is that she throws them forward. Now, the way this course is usually played, players are going to be sticking to the right side of the track because it lines up with the next turn, which is a right turn. These green shells are more than likely going to curve and stick with the left side of the track, and therefore avoid all the players that are sitting on the right side of the track. As you can see, if we move a little bit ahead, these green shells are headed towards the left side of the track, while the majority of players are sticking with the right side of the track. These green shells get no effectiveness whatsoever. I believe she just got rid of them because she needed another item to help her with this section of the map. Alright, triple shrooms. Now, I know I can't use these shrooms in the last bends of the course because it's very difficult to maintain your speed. So I'm more than likely going to use them in the bumpy section of the track where it's very difficult to maintain speed, as well as use them on the bridge section at the end of the lap for the same reason. Now, I used my shroom to avoid getting hit by the star. The mistake here was that I didn't look backwards to make sure I needed to use my shroom because I could have held it for a later time, but it didn't matter anyway. I was planning to use my shroom regardless or not if the star was going to hit me, so it all worked out in the end. Alright, take this turn way too tight and have to slow down, but Funky bumps me and prevents me from hitting the wall and losing a bunch of my speed. Thanks, Funky. Alright, I'm slowing down for the shortcut. Alright, the way this shortcut works is that if you go off to the right pretty tight, you can cut this entire turn right here. Now, the way I'm doing this is pretty bad. The way you usually want to do it is you want to have full speed coming into this section, and then once you reach the location I'm at, then you slow down, then you take the shortcut. The reason I slowed down earlier was because I'm still not used to taking the shortcut because I'm still practicing. Now, another way to do the shortcut if you're still new to the game is that you can drift to the left and have the slope take you around, and then you can take the shortcut. This is a great way to practice the angle you need to take the shortcut the way I'm doing it, and I believe it's faster than taking the turn normally. You can double check on that and correct me if I'm wrong, but even if it is slower, it's a great way to practice the angle you need to take the shortcut. I'm doing it. Look, as shown. Or I hit the fence, and I have to use my second shroom to keep my speed up, and I use my third shroom to mitigate any speed loss from the bumps on the bridge. Alright, we're entering lap 2 and we have Daisy in front of us with a red shell. Don't want to be directly behind her. Now, I dropped my wheelie here because I was nervous that I was going to use my shroom and speed into Funky and then get wheelie bump and lose a bunch of speed. So, I dropped my wheelie just in case that happened. I want to be behind Funky to try to get a draft off of him. I have to go wide to avoid any type of backside. I'm having placed last lap. Daisy ends up hitting the banana place from last lap, and now she has triple bananas dragging behind her. I have to be wary as she might back spam these before the cannon. She drops one, but she misses. Okay, I know I don't have good lines, so I'll have to try to see if I can keep my first place. Okay, the idea here was that I was assuming Daisy was going to take a tighter line than me and somehow hit the banana by accident. This is not what happens. What happens is now me and Daisy are now neck and neck, and I have to be cautious of the 2 bananas she's dragging behind her. So now I have to give her some space to make sure I don't get hit. But I take this turn perfectly, but I miscalculated the cycles of the rocks and I hit a boulder, which is unfortunate, but I don't lose a lot of spots because of it. Okay, slowing down for the shortcut again. I have to slow down even more because I was going to hit the fence. So I used 1 minus shrooms to keep my speed up. Okay, Funky behind me has triple green shells and he saw me use a shroom. So he knows that I'm vulnerable because I either have triple shrooms or I just wasted my single shroom. So Funky's gonna try to stymie me with his green shell, so I have to look backwards to make sure that I don't get hit. As you can see, a green shell's coming towards me, so I have to move out of the way to make sure I don't get hit. And I lose my last shroom to chain. Okay, I end up going tight on this turn because I thought that the trap from last lap, Daisy in front of me already hit it. So there's probably going to be no trap. But I forgot that Daisy herself still has another banana she didn't drop yet, and I end up hitting it. A blue shell's coming, but I don't want to affect the Daisy in first because she's in a cannon. Another blue shell. That thing needs cooldown. Alright, fib. Now I can use this fib right before the shortcut because it's very difficult to manage these last bends of the course, even if you're an experienced racer. So I'm going to save my fib and drop it before the shortcut because I'm pretty sure someone's bound to hit it, and I'm going to solidify my position. Alright, I take this turn perfectly. I slow down and drop my fib. I think the Funky messed up because at the end of the race, I end up having a small lead. There you have it. The first place of the series, guys. Now, some minor mistakes I would say would be my lines are pretty bad and I wasn't prepared for the shock at all. As you notice, I didn't mention the shock at all in this race because I want people to realize that always be expecting the shock after 30 seconds of a race and after 30 seconds if it has been used. So we were lucky that there was no shock this race, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't impact the way we played the course. So otherwise this race is pretty much perfect, and that's why it was a shorter analysis because I did everything right. So if you like what you see, please subscribe. Otherwise don't. Take care.